That didn't work. Everything's radioactive. At least it feels like it, because the world just hurts at this point. I feel like the mere act of remaining alive is a trial of some kind, like it's a test of my endurance. Good lord. Help us. Help! Hey everybody, it's me, your favorite little boy in the whole wide world, and I can tell just by looking at you, looking at me, that you have a myriad of questions. Questions, by the way, that I refuse to answer, because I don't respect you. Pardon me, I didn't mean you as in you in general. I mean you specifically. Boom! Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Ray Gun Recap. We got a lot of fun stories to cover today, but before we get on with any of that, before we continue with today's splendor, I would be remiss, I would have to be a malignant simpleton, not to take this opportunity to wish a happy birthday to one of my favorite video games of all time, Halo 2. That's right, guys, as of this month, Halo 2 is 13 years old, which means it's just 1 year shy of being aggressively fondled by Kevin Spacey. They grow up so fast. Can you see? Can you see the tears in my eyes? Can you see the tears? Anyway, with that bullshit out of the way, I think it's time to go forward with today's planned programming. What do you say, Paul? You excited? You excited to be back in the studio? Ready to grab life by the fucking neck?
I'll never forget the things I've bared witness to. I once saw a child beat a grown man into a comatose state at a playground in broad daylight. He pulled him out of the driver's side of his car, stuffed him in his own trunk, and submerged him in gasoline. By the time he woke up and got out of the trunk, the gasoline had eroded his skin. His eyes fused shut. His mouth was open, yet his screams were muffled. I still wonder if I could have stopped it.
Okay, I think he might need a little bit of time to readjust. I think Korea took a larger toll on him than he'd care to admit. He keeps trying to get me to play StarCraft. I don't play that shit. What was that, Minecraft with stars? No, thank you. Better close this. So I thought it would be kind of cute today to have a bit of a first day back at university type theme for today's video. I don't really know why. I just kind of like thematic elements. So with the power that this yardstick bestows upon me, I will be your professor for today's classes. You can call me Professor Dad, because you called me that without my permission anyway, so I figure I might as well have control of the situation for once. You're welcome, bitch. Welcome to Sex Ed, everybody. Today I will educate you about some sexual assault scandals. That's close enough. That's close enough. That's good. Man, we're really doing a good job. This is a productive day. I like the new me. So if you don't know by now, famous actor George Takei. What the fuck am I doing? What is wrong with me? George Takei was recently accused of groping a male model in 1981, and he denied it on Twitter. He denied the allegations, and that was pretty much it. Like that was the entirety of the story. A little mundane compared to the Louis C.K. thing, but it's not nothing. It happened. But much like Hollywood itself, this story appears to be the gift that just keeps on giving, even when you just want it to stop, and you explicitly tell it to stop, but it just keeps on fucking giving. George Takei blames Russian bots for spreading sexual assault allegations. So is this the people we are now? We're just gonna blame the Russians for everything that happens that we mildly disapprove of? Microtransactions in Battlefront 2? Russians. Blake Shelton, sexiest man alive? Excuse me? Russian bots. This is actually, like, genuinely, like Alex Jones conspiracy level shit. I know Alex Jones doesn't conspire about the Russians, but it's like an equal level of like, what the fuck are you talking about?
They hate prosperity, they hate God, they hate children, and goddamn them to hell.
Which strikes me as a little bit amusing, because it wasn't all that long ago that George Takei was taking some shots at Alex Jones for all of his whack job conspiracy theories. Oh, how quickly we succumb. That awkward moment when you find it easier to believe that an entire nation is conspiring against you than it is to believe that you're just not that great of a person. They're putting chemicals in the water and turning all the actors into sexual harassers. They're putting water in the gays and turning the chemicals into frogs. 10 points to George, though. I really admire the fact that he stuck with the Russian hysteria this late into 2017. I was beginning to miss it, but it really brings back that positive 2016 ASMR. I like his Twitter bio too. It's very virtuous. Some know me as Sulu from Star Trek, but I hope all know me as a believer in, and a fighter for, equality and dignity of all human beings. Wow, someone whose online profile describes them as being the exact opposite of what they turned out to be? Who could have possibly called this? I wonder. Shitty people will often try to portray themselves on the internet as the opposite of what they actually are.
Now it's all out and you know, 'cause I want it to.
So before we start today's lesson, I just want to get the obvious shit out of the way. I know a lot of you are thinking, you know what, art isn't important. What a waste of fucking time. I should be in a law class or some shit. Well, you know what? You couldn't be more wrong. I'll have you know that Adolf Hitler was rejected from an art school and then went on to become one of the biggest mass murderers of all fucking time. So just imagine, for a moment, all of the people who got into art school who are now not mass murderers because of it. This is the part where you say, thank you, art, and I say, you're welcome. Now, in keeping with the theme of artwork, today we're going to be talking about a video game by the name of Cuphead, because it's honestly just an artistic fucking marvel. It's a modern masterpiece. It perfectly captures the early 20th century rubber hose animation style it was inspired by. The flow, the style, it all seems so effortless, yet the effort truly shows. The painstakingly detailed and hand-drawn animation alone help elevate this video game to true work of art status. Just kidding, it's actually enshrouded in racism and contempt for humanity, according to this jackass. Cuphead and the racist specter of Fleischer animation. The article basically goes on to chastise the developers for daring to set their game in a 1930s style of animation while refusing to address some of the racial prejudices that were prevalent around that time, as if the game has some inherent responsibility to do that just for choosing an artistic style. This is the most obvious damned if you do, damned if you don't I've seen in quite some time. Hey, you want to pay homage to an early era of animation by remaining faithful to racialized caricatures in order to address a politically salient idea? Well, you know what? That's racist. How dare you depict minorities as they were depicted back then? That's just insensitive. Kill yourself. Okay, well, do you want to pay homage to an early era of animation by taking the perceived positives and leaving the negatives behind? I can't believe you would suggest whitewashing the past. You're essentially pretending that racism never happened. Insensitive. Kill yourself. You actually just can't win. It's an automatic loss. This article is bullshit. Play Cuphead if you haven't. This isn't an ad. It's genuinely a great game, and the animators worked really fucking hard on it, and they deserve the praise that they get. Fuck this bullshit. Welcome to mathematics. I'm going to need you to solve an equation for me. What is social justice plus 2017 minus any sense of self-awareness whatsoever? The answer, my friends, is this amazing article from BET, Black Entertainment Television. Apple's black diversity chief steps down after saying white men are diverse, will be replaced by a white woman. What's this? What's this? I want to fucking die. How is this the world that we live in, guys? How does one undermine their own cause so effectively without intentionally trying to do it? Now, this is the part of the article that rubs me in just the right way. She had irked some critics in May when she commented during a conference, there can be 12 white, blue-eyed, blonde men in a room, and they're going to be diverse too, because they're going to bring a different life experience and life perspective to the conversation. Holy shit, dude. No wonder she was fired. That's like a completely accurate interpretation of the real world. I'm shocked she wasn't shipped to Guantanamo for this. Her comments were seen by some as insensitive to people of color, women, and members of the LGBT community who have long faced an uphill battle in the workplace. Yeah, I guess obvious and undeniable facts tend to be pretty insensitive, don't they? Yeah, they get in the way of all my precious emotional arguments. You see, what really bugs me about this particular situation is you really have two kinds of people in a situation like this. You have the kinds of people who think that she's wrong in what she said, thereby making the argument that if you are superficially similar to somebody else, that's all that fucking matters. Hey, you're a white person too. Hey, your experience is basically the fucking same. Class, I guess, ceases to be a thing. Disability ceases to be a thing. Home and family life. Location. Poor white kid in a Spanish slum. Rich white kid in Beverly Hills. Practically the fucking same. You either got those people, or you have people on the other side who basically are making the case that, yeah, you know, what she says is true. You know, white people can be diverse. That'd be ridiculous to say otherwise. But the acknowledgement of that fact is insensitive, therefore fuck it. Apparently, she even apologized for being correct, which is a very 2017 thing to do indeed.
These E-celeb cocksuckers like Chris Ray Gun.
Lesson number 1, sex ed. If you're ever accused of sexual assault, sexual harassment, or sexual misconduct, just blame the Russians. They're always at fault anyway. Lesson number 2, art class. No matter what you do, everyone will hate you, so don't bother. Lesson number 3, mathematics. If you're a business owner, Hire minorities, but only the ones who agree with you. Congratulations, I now award you with this degree from Ray Gun University. I hope it was worth the 200 grand you now all owe me after watching this video. What, you thought I was gonna give you a high-level education for free? What do you think this is? What is this, Bernie Sanders land? Get your fucking, get your shit together, dude. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me today, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday break full of cheer and wonder. Hello, this is Chris Raygun speaking.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Paul, what the fuck? When'd you leave the room?
I went to get ham and I got lost.
Ham?
Ham.
Why? Where are you?
I'm in Manhattan.
How?
I'm lost. You want to pick me up? You want to pick me up? You want to pick me up?
Oh, god damn it, I'm way too fucking old for this shit. Talking over this music so I don't get a copyright strike, son of a bitch. Life is hell on earth. God damn it, Paul, you can't be doing that. You can't be disappearing to different states out of the blue like that, all quick and whatnot. He's dangerous. Guys like you, I've seen him get beat up. I've seen him get beat up in the prairie, dude. Let alone in the big city. Irresponsible, Paul. Irresponsible. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Raygun Recap. Stay tuned for the next several episodes of the Chris Raygun Show, because we're going to be in New York for the unforeseeable future. Oh, what a splendid day. And you know the drill, guys. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button, click that bell, like this video, leave a comment, and you know what? Donate on Patreon if you're feeling so generous. The sky's the limit. And one more thing. I want you guys to know from deep down in my heart that Hold on a second, I'm getting a phone call. Hello, Chris Raygun speaking.
Come pick me up. You want to come pick me up?
Wow, you fucking piece of shit. That's it. Yeah.